to my right and your left, this gentleman is one of the most well-respected football writers in the country, and he is the head football writer for rotoworld.com and NBCsports.com, and his fantasy football content is incredible. You can go on rotoworld.com also to check out his articles, as well as NBCsports.com to check out his video clips. This is Mr. Gregg Rosenthal on the show once again for the third time. Third time's a charm.
Yeah, 3 times. The only place I think that's had me back 3 times.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, you deserve it, man. That's for sure. You deserve that exposure. And we have so much to talk about. Fantasy football 2008 season. Our drafts are going on right now.
That time of year.
That's right. And I wanted to ask you, like, first of all, position battles to watch. I mean, there's so many running back positions throughout the NFL that we don't know who's starting, who's second string, who's going to be third down, whatever, you know. So talk about which battles should we really pay attention to as we approach our drafts.
Well, there's more, running back committees now than there have been about 5 years ago. It's actually going back, if you study football history, this is how it's always been. It's the 325-yard carry back is something new. So that's going away a little bit. And then Tennessee is one I would start looking at right away, which is Lendale, a.k.a. Bake Sale, and Len Whale White going against Chris Johnson.
Oh, good. You said it, Lendale, not me.
I actually like Lendale White, and I like Chris Johnson. I think both of these guys can be really strong this year, and that's partly because the Titans' offensive line is good. I think this could kind of be a poor man's Jacksonville, where both Fred Taylor and Maurice Jones-Drew have some value. The difference here is White, I think, is going to score more touchdowns, and he's the starter. But Chris Johnson's going to get more big plays, and I think he's going to be a little closer to a Reggie Bush kind of guy than people really expect.
That's right, and I loved Chris Johnson out of ECU, East Carolina, and that, I mean, his speed, he ran a 4.24 at the Combine and a 4.18 at his pro day, East Carolina.
Fastest time in 10 years, and it got me a little wary of him almost. I was like, oh, he's one of those Combine guys, kind of like his teammate Chris Henry. But he's not like that. If you watch him on tape now, I've got to see him a little bit. He can run inside. He can run outside. He's a tough guy. I don't think he's just one of those workout wonders.
That's for sure. And his kick, and also kick returns. He can really, in the return game, could really pay dividends. But
another guy like that who can return and was great at the Combine is Darren McFadden, who's got a lot more height. And
that's what I wanted to ask you about, the Oakland Raiders running back situation. Michael Bush is having a good preseason, and he was injured all of last year. And then you have Justin Fargas, who's the incumbent, and then Darren McFadden, the first-round pick. So what's going to happen in that situation?
I think McFadden has the most fantasy value, and I have him ranked about 20th to 22nd or so at running back, maybe a little higher if you get a point per reception. That's about where I had Adrian Peterson at this time last year, so that wasn't really high enough. It got me a little worried, but I think there are differences. I don't think he's going to get the most carries in Oakland. I think Justin Fargas is going to get just as many. McFadden will be worth more because he'll catch the ball, but I don't think he's the type of guy to break as many tackles as Peterson.
That's a good point. That's a good point. And I think he'll get used to it as he gets stronger, though, McFadden. Probably his second year.
Over the years, and even in the second half of the season, he'll get better and better. But he doesn't have a great passing game to help him out. So to me, he's like a second running back that you take in the third or fourth round.
Good, yeah, good point. And wanted to go now, and also the Houston Texans. Amon Green could be cut. What's going on with that?
I'm not even sure it matters who starts in Houston. It could be Chris Brown. It could be Steve Slayton. It could be Amon Green. They have a guy, Chris Taylor. They're going to split it up 3 ways. I think Cincinnati is going to be another committee, probably split it between Rudy Johnson and Chris Perry.
And Kenny Watson, too.
If either one of them gets hurt, then Kenny Watson will step in. And then Carolina is one which I think is a little more interesting. You have D'Angelo Williams and then Jonathan Stewart, who has really fallen in drafts. He fell in a draft I did on this very night till deep in the 6th round. And that's pretty late for a really talented guy who is a powerful running back who can catch the football. And I know D'Angelo Williams will probably start the year as a starter. But I think Stewart will finish it.